Hi there, Blaze here. This is going to be kind of a part 2 to the video that I did this morning about the psychic books. You know, remember I talked about Calls to Mystic Alice, which is an amazing book, and Reader of Hearts, which was a pretty good book. The other two books that I was talking about this morning, which I found, are We Are Eternal by Robert Brown. What the Spirits Tell Me About Life and Death. This is a very comforting book if anyone in the family or friend has committed suicide. It was a pretty good book, but I think it was better to me because I needed to read it at the time. In the table contents, there is Part 1, Different Country, Same Question. Fantastic Truth or Wicked Lie, Open Eyes. Part 2, Finding the Truth, In My Father's House, So What Have the Spirits Told Me, Life After Life, Spirits Around Us, Sean, and So What Can Spirit Communication Do for You? Very comforting book. This was the other one that I was talking about, Doors to Other Worlds, Communicating with Spirits by Raymond Buckland. There's a funny story behind this book. This was actually my aunt's book. She had lent it to me, and my husband saw it and wanted to read it because he loves reading Buckland. And he had grabbed it, started reading it, so I had to wait for him to get done with it. I had not read it yet, and my aunt called me and said, "Are you done with the book yet? What did you think?" And I said, "Well, I haven't gotten to read it yet. My husband's reading it." She was like, "Oh, okay, well, let him read it, and you read it and tell me what you think." And I was like, okay. Didn't think too much of it. Well, I kept the book and was reading on it. Had read a little bit of it and, put it on the bedside table and not gotten a chance to finish reading it. She called me one day and I told her, "So I'm reading the book. I'll get it back to you as soon as I can." And she said, "Oh, don't worry about it. Just get it back to me when you get finished." Okay. Well, a few months later, she committed suicide. So I sat down and I read the rest of the book. Very good book. She was probably the only one in the family, other than my immediate family, that would have understood my ways of thinking, and we were kind of starting to match up. She was about, it's been a while, 8 or 10 years my senior. So she was experiencing things in a different way than I was, but things were starting to match up to where we could talk to each other about it. But anyway, she passed on. I read the book. Very good book, very good points. So I kind of feel like she's with me all the time. But anyway, very good book. And anybody who's into mediumship or spirit board stuff, you'll enjoy this. It has table contents, mediumship, beginnings, channelings, and possession, world of spirit, looking into the spirit world, meeting God, the spirit body, spirit speech and travel, other life forms, evil entities, and transition. Part 3, History of Spiritualism, the Early Years. That gets pretty interesting. The episode at Hydesville, Andrew Jackson Davis, the Fox Sisters, Reaction. Part 4, History of Spiritualism, later development in England, development in America, development in circles, spiritualism in the, spiritualism as a religion, spiritualism in Europe and South America. And Part 5, Preparation for Mediumship, questioning yourself, affirmations, meditations, and safeguards. And then it goes on difficulties during communication, spirit guides, trance, clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience. That's an interesting thing to read about and discuss. Psychometry, table tipping and levitation, talking boards, automatic writing, spirit photography, physical mediums, healing, developmental circles, channeling, developmental exercises, and spiritualist fraud. Anyway, a lot of good information in here. And one thing that I did want to say, there are a lot of books out there on psychics and a lot of interesting things to read about, but the ones that I like better are the ones that actually discuss the life about the psychic and what they went through to find themselves and to focus on their abilities. Everybody should know if a psychic is talking to you, be careful. There are a lot of psychics out there that want to help. There are a lot of psychics out there that don't. So be careful and read up, because, you know, you might have a talent you don't know about. And sometimes it takes reading somebody else's experience to have that pop. You know, that aha, the light just went off. I think everybody has a little sense of a psychic fragment in them, you know, even if it's just the people that are extremely close to you. Like, you know, if you have children, you know, a really close friend, a significant other, a husband, a wife, or whatever. If they're in trouble, you can sense it. And I don't know, sometimes I wonder if that's just your closeness to them or if that's actually, you know, a psychic ability. But either way, follow your instincts. Thanks, and blessed be.